All those sweaty, ugly away games are now out of the way, and the season starts right here for Nottingham Forest as we welcome Brentford from their BTEC Stadium. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're well and welcome. And I am back. 2 days off, still got the cough, but a lot better. I hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to your preview for Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. Coming up in today's video, we'll go through what I think Cooper's predicted team will be. We'll go through mine. We'll go through the Brentford team. We'll look at tactics, and with Brentford being so far in the mud, are Forest's actually favourites for this game? If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV, and a massive thank you to all the hundreds of you that have voted for us already for the Football Content Awards. The link is pinned in the comments down below. If you haven't voted for us yet, we are finalists for Best Podcast with Beat the Drop. If you take a quick second to vote, if you haven't already, we thank you in advance. You guys are legends. And don't forget, you got until 7:30 tonight to get your Ryan Yates shirt. So click on that link as well with football prizes. Let's jump into this. So Brentford are in the mud. They've taken 3 L's in a row if you include their cup game. They haven't won since August when they beat Fulham. They've been the draw specialists and now suddenly are sitting below Forest with an LL draw in their last 4 Premier League matches. But should we be complacent and cocky? No, not with Brentford. There's something I just hate about Brentford, be it their BTEC Stadium that looks like it's just a bunch of Lego pieces pulled together, or their annoyingly good manager. Or is he as annoyingly good as people make him out to be? We'll talk about that in a second. Or is it just because I don't think they're a Premier League team, because they just aren't traditionally one, in my opinion. But hey, everyone is entitled to what they think. But I do actually respect the project that they've put together and the way they've slowly built up in the Premier League. But have they reached their limit? Have they reached their ceiling? And are they going to come crumbling down? This season's going to be an interesting one for them. But forget Brentford for a minute. This is all about Forest. And I just feel something's bubbling. Something good is bubbling at Nottingham Forest. I love what we saw in the second half against Man City. I thought Dominguez really burst onto the scene. I think Sangare is going to be ready for this match. I have not written him off yet. Montiel looked good and a few other players as well. So I expect we will see some proper football unleashed this weekend. Why? Because it's just been hinted too much at us over the last few weeks, whether I'm reading the signs from Cooper wrong or not. My opinion is he's heavily hinting at turning into a more attacking style. Now, is that coming from him or Marinakis? That's a whole other debate. But putting all that aside, I just feel something is in the air Trent side right now, and I am expecting a good game from Nottingham Forest. Will it be enough to beat Brentford? I don't know, because Brentford are quite a defensively counter-attacking team. So Forest playing non-low block football on the front foot could work out in Brentford's favour. But we'll get into all of that in the tactics in just a second. But let's kick this video off by going what I think Cooper's predicted 11 will be. Okay, so this was the team that started off against Man City, and I don't think we're going to see anything like this. I do not expect to see a back 3. I expect to see a back 4. I expect to see just more attacking players. In fact, I'm going to go a step further. This is the team I predict Steve Cooper will start, subject to fitness, on Sunday. And I think we will finally see the return of the beautiful man Felipe. Look, if Felipe doesn't cut it and he's not fit or whatever excuses they're using for him now with his knee issue, then I expect Bolly to come in, maybe Worrell. I don't know if Cooper will leave him out for 2 games, but I do think the only change to this team realistically could be a defensive switch, be it Felipe in for Bolly or Bolly out in for Worrell. And I'll be honest with you guys, I mean, I've said what I've said about Worrell over the last 12 months. For me, it's Felipe or Bolly, but number one, numero uno has to be Felipe if he's fit. And what a back four that's shaping up to be. Is it harsh on Aurier to drop him? Yeah, I like Aurier at right back, but I just think Montiel needs another game just to test him out, and this one could be the perfect game for him. Does he worry me defensively? Still, yes, he does. But I think he did enough in that second half to merit him a start. And then unleash that beastly front six. Dominguez, Sangare, who is going to have a good game, I promise you, this Sunday. Morgan Gibbs-White, who needs to have a good game, who actually got his first Forest goal. I remember it very well. I was there against Brentford last season. And I think lightning may strike twice. And then it's time for Elanga and Hudson-Odoi on the wing with Awani up front. This, for me, is a very, very strong, good-looking Premier League team. And I hope this is what Cooper goes with. And I think it may be. In fact, I'll go as far to say, as for the first time in doing all of these predicted preview things, this Cooper team that I'm predicting is exactly the same team that I would go with. There's a first for you guys. However, if he wants to be a little more defensive, let me show you what he could do. Now, he could go for a 4-3-3, and I think a 4-3-3 would be a very valid option in this game, especially as Brentford tend to play 4-3-3 unless they're playing big six teams. So it could look to cancel him out rather than get out flooded in a two-man midfield. However, you can notice I've taken MGW out. Now, I don't think that will happen, nor would I actually take him out for this game, to be honest. He should have been rested, in my opinion, for the Man City game, freshened him up, ready for this Brentford game. I don't think that will happen. I think if Cooper goes for a 4-3-3, what you'll find is Elanga will get dropped and MGW will come in as the wide player. So you'll end up with Hudson-Odoi, Awani and MGW up front. Now, in terms of the midfield three, I think this is shaping up to be one of Cooper's favourite ones. He's already shown he doesn't mind dropping Ryan Yates. I think some of you would probably tag Mangala out for Ryan Yates. Could work. I got no problems with that one. I think if you want to go a bit more defensive, bring in Santos and give him a run around. There is a lot of noise from the Chelsea camp about Santos currently and the lack of game time he's getting at Nottingham Forest. So I do expect Santos to make some kind of appearance in the next couple of games, but I don't think it'll be until the international break before he starts. But anyway, this is probably, if he was going to go a 4-3-3, I expect Elanga would be the one who gets sacrificed so that MGW plays. Do I agree with it? Not wholeheartedly, no. I prefer MGW in the 10. I feel like you're shoehorning him into a wide position if that's the case, because he ends up drifting back into the middle in games anyway. But even having said that, I still like this team. I like this team in pretty much any variation of a back four you can come up with. I think we've got enough quality in all these positions to cause problems for most teams, especially those outside the top 4-6 region. But which would you prefer, guys? The 4-2-3-1 against Brentford or the 4-3-3? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so with the Brentford team, this is the team that held 3 to Everton at home. Talk about embarrassing. And I expect there to be a few changes. However, they are hit with a Rico case. Literally, Rico Henry is out for the season. So they are having to cover for him in the wing-back position. Obviously, we all know Bet365 Toney is not there. And obviously, we all know that those 3 Brentford fans that were trying to laugh at Forest because they actually thought in their little pee-wee minds that they were going to get Brennan Johnson. Like they could afford him. He's worth more than their stadium. They actually thought they were going to get him. I don't see his name on this team sheet, and nor will we on Sunday. But anyway, having said that, they have got a few players that are pretty decent. Visa decent, and Bumo, however you say his name, is decent as well. The back four, I think, can be gotten at. But overall, it's just like a boring team. It's a workman team rather than a creative team, in my opinion. And honestly, I haven't got much time a day for Brentford. I'll only watch them if they're playing a decent team. I ain't going to go out my way to watch them play. Just telling you how I think or how I deal with them. But yeah, Expect a 4-3-3. Look, Thomas Frank, and I'm sure a lot of you saw it on Monday Night Football, went through his tactics. Thank you. What an idiot, sharing his tactics for the world to see. Basically, he will employ a 3-back formation if he's playing a big 6 and against the team that he's worried about. Otherwise, he will go for a 4-3-3. That's his preferred formation, trying to get overloads and triangles up and down the wings, and they will deploy some long ball football if they have to. But I don't want to talk about this team anymore. It's just boring to look at, but they're good. They're good. I'll give it to them. But at the moment, they are in a rut. And I think Frank is going to be targeting this Forest match to try and get 3 points out of. Alrighty then. So how do I see this one breaking down? I've just got this feeling, and don't say jinxerine, that this is going to be a win for Nottingham Forest. I don't expect it to be easy. Let me add that in there. But I do expect Forest to come out good on top. I just feel there's some good vibes going on right now. And I want to add to them. I want to add to them because I just feel if Forest can get a W in this game, maybe a draw or a W against Palace, then we've got the free win against Luton. We're suddenly looking at getting somewhere between 6 to 9 points over the next 3 games before we hit the Liverpool match. But this has to be a win. Look, the City Ground is still a fortress. We have not lost there, I don't think, since Man United, if I remember rightly. But we have stalled a little bit. We should have beat Burnley. We should have done better against them. We definitely should have been more comfortable against Sheffield United. But so far, we've picked up 4 points from 6, and we know it's a hard place for a team to come to. So I think this will be a win for Forest. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be 2-1. I'm going with a 2-1 to Forest, and I'm going to say Morgan Gibbs-White repeats history and gets a goal against Brentford. But get your scores in down below. If you've enjoyed the video, if you agree with my predictions or team sheets, let me know by hitting that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And don't forget to get your tickets for those Ryan Yates shirts from Football Prizes. And on top of that, if you guys haven't seen Beat the Drop yet, go and check it out. Ant and Jimmy, the Sheffield United fan, go absolutely toe-to-toe in it. My God, you're going to need some popcorn. So check that one out. We'll see you on the next video. And come on, you Reds.